this is definitely by far the trickiest one to do. So I'm hoping this will be explained properly and give you a little help. So when we rotate, again, we have to specify the number of degrees and what point we're going to rotate around. So what we want to do is rotate this shape 90 degrees and 180 degrees clockwise about the origin. So the first thing I notice is that when this shape rotates 90 degrees, it's going to end up in this quadrant right here. Okay, for 90 degrees. And then 180, it's going to end up down here. That's going to be useful for us when we're performing these rotations. So in order to rotate, we have to, again, we're going to look at a couple points and see how they line up. So the first thing I did is I got this rectangle here. And you can see that for point C, line that up there. We'll change the color here as well, make it a little easier for you. So there's a red one, nice red rectangle. Hey, 2 R's, not bad. And we see that it is 3 units across and then 4 units up and down. All right, so we're going to take that into account as we complete this. So to record that, so there we go. Here's point C. Right here is my origin. And you can see it's 3 units across and 4 units up. Okay, so when I try to rotate the shape 90 degrees, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually try and rotate the whole thing. So what I want to do is rotate the rectangle 90 degrees. So let's do that. So if I rotate this thing properly, if it'll let me do it, where's that symbol? Where are you? Not there. All right, let's try again. When I try and so this thing will move it around here, right? But when I try and rotate this triangle here, or the rectangle, my bad. Let's get this away here. Okay, so when I rotate the rectangle here, there we go. There's the symbol. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so now when I put it in the new spot where we're supposed to be, okay, you can see that point C is now right here. And now it's 4 across and 3 up and down. So that's where point C is going to land when I do the rotation. So to check where it's going to be, so point C, remember we used prime for the image, is now going to be at 4 and 3. So when I look at the coordinates, it looks like they flipped. I'm not worried about the sign right now. Just looking at the numbers, you can see that there's now a 3 as your y coordinate, and the x is 4. All right, so that's where C is going to land right there. So let's reset this here quickly. So we'll just delete that, and we'll move this triangle out of the way. Oh, C's coming with it. All right. Well, I know C is 4 and 3, so let's put that back. There we are. So C prime. All right. Get rid of this. Get rid of that, and we got our nice rectangle again. So let's try one more point and see what happens here. So let's see here. Take this. Okay, we're gonna rotate it back, and we're gonna look at point B. So point B is at -4 and 7. Okay, I already wrote that down. All right. So let's make this rectangle stretch where it's supposed to go. So let's see. So 4 and 7. So we're going to make it 4 squares long and 7 high. So it's 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. And we'll put this right here. So you can see that's where point B is right now. When I rotate this, okay, so where's that rotation? There it is. It's going to go, we're going to go sideways, but again, we're rotating about the origin here. So it's going to go right there. So point B is now right here. Okay, so we're going to take point B, whoopsie, took it with it, my bad, 7 and 4. So point B is now at 7 and 4. Get rid of that, we don't need that no more. There we are. Okay, and you can kind of see once again, when I look at the original point and where I'm at now, should be B prime, we got negative 4, 7, and now 7 and 4. So it looks like the numbers for x and y have flipped again. All right. For A and D, here's what we're going to do. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect these lines together, these points together, because we know that C connects to B in some way. For the A point, if it's negative, now, before I do that, if you look at B and C, okay, we're going to say these are 90 degrees. You can see that negative 8 and 5, that's going to flip over. So instead of negative 8 and 5, we're going to have 5 and 8 this time. Okay, so let's find that on the grid. So 5 and 8, that's going to be A prime. Got the prime logo. And the same thing for D. Let's look at D. D is originally at negative 5 and 2. So let's flip the x and y coordinates around. Again, don't worry about the sign yet. 2 and 5. There's 2 and 5. That's D prime. So now I can connect those lines together. And we've officially done a rotation of 90 degrees. All right, and for the last one, we're going to do a rotation of 180 degrees. So let me put this up here. And since we're doing a second image, we're going to use 2 primes for this one. Also, I'm doing it in blue. That kind of helps. Okay. So when we rotate 180 degrees, that when we did 90 degrees, we're here. So 180 degrees is twice that. We're going to be in this quadrant here, just like I highlighted earlier. So in order to do that, we can look at where C is. So C we know is at negative 3 and 4. So negative 3 and 4, that's where C is. So we can say that it covers these 12 squares here. 3 times 4 is 12, looking at its coordinates. Well, since I know what quadrant it's going to go into, I can say, well, the same thing should apply for the image of C. So we're going to go 3 across, 1, 2, 3, and 4 down. Just like that. So that means that my C double prime is going to be here at 3 and negative 4. So let's put that in there. And it looks like when I look at the original C coordinates I used, it looks like I flipped the sign on X and Y. So let's flip the sign on X and Y here. So let's see if it works for D. So for point D, it originally was at negative 5 and 2. So let's make it positive 5 and negative 2. Let's go find that on the grid here. 5 and negative 2. 5, negative 2. So this would be D prime, double prime. Double prime, gotta love it. Let's see if it works for A double prime. So A double prime is going to be -8 and 5. It's going to be 8 and -5 when we switch the signs on both. And I'll do part B as well. Part B is going to be 4 and -7. So let's go find those points here. So A is 8 and -5. So 8 and -5. 4 and -7. Okay, so this is going to be A prime. And this one's going to be B prime. So when we put it together, just draw the shape here, some nice straight lines. And you can see we've done a successful rotation of 180 degrees. So in summary, if I'm doing a rotation of 180 degrees, well, you just need to flip the sign on X and Y. And if I want to do a 90-degree rotation or even a 270-degree rotation, what we can do is we can say flip X and Y coordinates. So just flip the X and Y coordinates, we'll say numbers only. As long as you know what quadrant you're going to be into, you don't have to worry about the signs. As long as you know where your image is going to end up, you should be able to say, you know what, if it's, for example, 3 and 4, I know it's going to be 4 and 3, but I don't know the signs yet. So just keep that in mind as you go along. Good luck, friends. DC signing off. Until next time.